Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk about the Google Pixel 5. And I had to think about how I wanted to approach this because I do think that it's a really good phone, but it may not necessarily be for everybody. And if you've already got a Pixel 4 or a 4 XL, there may not be really any compelling reasons to buy it. You lose out on the Soli stuff, you lose out on facial recognition, you lose out on the Quad HD Plus resolution, you have a less powerful processor than last year. So if you've got a Pixel 4 or a 4 XL, there's not a whole lot of reason I think that you should go out and buy this. Unless you just really want the green color. This sage green color that they have, I like a lot. It reminds me of like a robin's egg. Even kind of the way that the texture on it looks, like the robin's egg candies, with like they're all kind of speckly and stuff. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go buy some. If you have a Pixel 3, if you have a Pixel 2, if you have a Pixel 3a series, this is a very, very good upgrade. There's a lot of good things going for it. Snapdragon 765, you get 5G, very capable, very powerful. It's got a 6-inch screen, AMOLED display, albeit only at 1080p, but it does 90 Hz refresh rate, which I like a lot. Stereo speakers, wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. It's got 2 cameras on the back, a primary shooter and then a wide angle instead of the telephoto that they have in the 4 and 4XL. So yeah, if you skipped on the 4, this is a total good grab, I think, for a lot of people. And if you're looking at coming over to Google to get a Pixel device, and I think it's also a really good option because they took the 4 off the market already, and you can't even get them on their website anymore. So, discontinued. This right here, I think it offers enough compelling reasons to charge $699 for it, especially whenever, Google makes really good cameras. It takes amazing pictures, and I'm going to show you some samples here in a minute. I took a lot of pictures. I went to Las Vegas, took some pictures in the canyon. If you're hungry, don't watch this because I took a lot of pictures of food because it's what I do. It's how I roll. But the phone is very good. It's very capable. It has a really good battery on it. You got just over a 4,000 milliamp battery, 6-inch screen. Like I said, dual stereo speakers. I like them a lot. The speakers sound really good. 5G in here. It's got millimeter wave if you happen to use Verizon. So it really has attacked pretty much every area in the phone spectrum and given a good solution for it. So at $699, I think it's good. And some people are like, well, $699, you can get the Samsung Fan Edition. If somebody wanted to buy a Samsung Fan Edition, they probably aren't really looking at this. Or you can look at the iPhone, the new iPhone 12 mini, which only has a 5.4-inch screen, by the way. If you want to get the iPhone 12 that has a slightly larger screen, you're talking around the 6-inch size point. They bumped that up to like $799, $829, whatever. I'm not going to get into the weeds on that. But one of the main themes about this phone is the Pixel really doesn't compete with those phones. If you sit somebody down and you say, hey, you want an Apple, a Samsung, or a Pixel, most of the time that answer is not going to be the Pixel. But that's fine. The Google Pixel does not have to compete with people who typically buy Samsung or typically buy Apple phones. That's just not the market that they're appealing to. Google is a big, huge company. They can afford to make phones, just like LG. A lot of people are like, why would anyone buy an LG? Well, LG is a big electronics company and they have money, so they continue to compete in that sector. Google does a lot of things really well, though. They give you an amazing camera. They give you good, solid performance. They give you a lot of software constructs and implementations. Great Android software. You've got the basically stock version of Android 11, which is running straight out of the box. I mean, most of these other companies don't even have Android 11 yet. So you're pretty much always going to be ahead of the power curve when it comes to software. You're always going to have a good camera. It's even got night shot on wide angle mode now. That's really impressive. So you've got night shot, you've got portrait mode, you've got all sorts of wonderful ways that you can take pictures during the day, at nighttime, in the middle of the day, whenever you want. It's very capable, even with the selfies. They did a really good job with this phone. Aluminum body, fingerprint sensor on the back. They don't have facial recognition on it. They took that out. I'm okay with that. It's 2020. Facial recognition really is not something people are using when they go out in the real world anymore. Why? Because you have a mask on your face. So I think that they priced this one well, and I think there was a lot of heartache over the whole like $800-900 price point with last year's, and they had problems. They did. The batteries were not big enough, especially not in the Pixel 4. They just wanted too much money for them. They really could not command that kind of price point, and I got to be honest, Samsung and Apple really bridged the whole camera gap this last year. And of course, the Pixel was not very good with video. So Samsung and Apple blew the Pixel out of the water when it came to video. Video has improved on here, so I'll give them that. But they also threw in 5G. They kept the 90 hertz refresh rate. They didn't go full bore with the 120. I'm okay with that. I mean, there's a more major difference between 60 and 90 than there is 90 to 120. If they put 120 hertz in here, I think it's kind of already been figured out in the mainstream tech world that 120 hertz really sucks up the battery. Even with the 4,500 milliamp battery in the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra, it's taking a toll on battery life. So this right here, if you're interested in the Pixel, clearly it's the best one to buy right now, unless you want to go get a Pixel 4 or 4 XL. I think Amazon had them for like $350 off for Prime Day. So there's still some deals to be had on those. And if you want a larger screen that's got some more power and some more oomph behind it, a little bit better for games, albeit I think the battery is a little bit on the reduced side when it comes to performance, the 4 and the 4 XL could still be good for some people. But if you want to be able to walk into some carrier stores or you want to get the latest and greatest, I think that Pixel did a good job here. I enjoy it. I think 6 inches is nice. Some people are like, well, the screen should be bigger. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I would like for them to have an XL model. It's kind of weird to me that the Pixel 4a 5G has a slightly larger screen than their flagship Pixel 5. The whole thing is a little confusing to me when it comes to the whole naming construct and the way that they did things with the phones this year. But by and large, what you get right here, I think, is a solid product. I think it's probably the most complete Pixel that Google has made so far. It gives you pretty much anything that you could ask for in an Android phone. And of course, the wonderful call screening. I love call screening. It's so nice. But they did a good job. So if you're interested in picking one up, totally worth the $6.99 in my opinion. You're going to have other people that say, yeah, go out and get the fan edition, or yeah, go out and get this, or yeah, go out and get that. Look, there are plenty of compelling phones out there, but that's one of the great things about having a lot of options. Not one shoe fits everybody the same way. Not one car is built the same way for everybody. Having choice is great. Google continues to give us choice. I really think that with everything going on in 2020 and with the quality, performance, and power that you get with the Snapdragon 765G, a great way to get you introductory 5G without having to suck up a bunch of battery and not having to pair it with a Snapdragon 865. They did a good job here. I think that if you pick one up, you're really going to enjoy it. Of course, the camera samples are solid. Take a look at this. I went out, I was in Las Vegas, I took pictures at night, I took pictures during the day, I took pictures while I was eating, I took pictures while I was with my wife. There are so many pictures here that you can look at, and I think that the Pixel 5 handled them beautifully. I was not disappointed with the photos at all. Look, I'm not a photo junkie. I am not somebody who can sit here and talk to you about f-stop and aperture and all these other things. I can tell you that it looks fantastic. I can tell you that night mode is spot on. I can tell you that portrait mode looks really, really good. And I like that it gives you that natural kind of bokeh effect. It's not like, here, let's just blur everything out. You kind of want to see what's in the background, but you want it blurred just enough so you can focus on the primary object. So Pixel, I think, is still doing it the best in many different ways. And what you get for $6.99 really is on par with a lot of the $1,000 plus flagship phones that are out there on the market. So this right here, don't think that you're getting a lesser phone for $6.99 because you're not. You're getting a very, very good phone that's worth more than the $6.99, I think. But yes, there are other alternatives out there. So if you're doing some shopping, yeah, you can look at the Samsung S20 Fan Edition. That's a solid phone. Or you can look at the iPhone 11. You can look at the iPhone XR. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there if you want a really solid phone at a decent price point and you don't want to spend $1,000. And I'm glad that Pixel is sitting at $6.99 now for this one. And then, of course, there's also the Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G. And those are also really solid, capable phones. So if you don't want the 90 hertz refresh rate, if you don't want wireless charging, if you don't want an IP rating, if you don't want a couple of other little niceties like an aluminum body versus a plastic polycarbonate body, there are things that you can factor into the equation. The Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G, solid options as well and significantly lower price. But $6.99 I think is a good price for this phone. I think that it brings a lot to the table, and I think if you want to pick one up, you're going to be happy with it. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.